Hey guys, my mid-morning recap. I took it really light today. Um, it was just, I had mentioned in my yesterday's evening video, I was expecting consolidation, so more of a chop situation setting up here. And so basically, what we've got going on here is uh, this is a gap. This is actually a monthly gap because here we are, March 1st, and we have filled our gap and we are poking out above the gap on the S&Ps. Now, uh, very strong ticks right now, suggesting that we got some short selling or buying coming into the markets here. Okay, I'm not overly bearish to markets. You see these strong ticks on the S&Ps. I would much prefer having those ticks on our Qs and our technology and our Russell. And the ticks are not they're good, but they're not nearly as I'd like to see the ticks outpacing in the technology space, and we're not quite getting that yet. But it's still not overly bad. It's better than what we've had the past week. But just keep that in mind going forward here. When I'm looking at on these markets, we are pushing to day highs as we speak. And then to finish it off, we'll go to our Russell. Yeah, there, I've already got it up. Sorry. And our Russell here, put her down to 5 minutes. There we go. And our Russell's still lagging down here, right here near that trend bottom line on our Russell. We are getting a little bit better ticks here. All of our internals seem to be positive on all three indices today, so we are getting somewhat of a short squeeze or buying to the markets at these levels. I'm just not a firm believer in that situation going forward here. Okay, so let's see here. What else do I want to do? Okay, there we go. Took me a second here to get to this. I was just watching Microsoft. The trades that I put in this morning. My first trade, I saw the markets gapping up this morning, and what I was looking at was for a. Okay, let's start with SPY. What I was looking for was for that gap fill, which we got, and then a responsive sell-off, and which we got here at the open. We got a sell-off in the SPYs, in the SPYs initially. Now we seem to be breaking out, and of course I'm not in the markets, of course. I saw relative strength in the semiconductors, and so I right near here at the open, I did get a short position in AMD, thinking we were going to get a responsive bid right back down to here. Of course, it did exactly what I expected, and it chopped around here, and I put a stop at my purchase price, and it stayed here for a good 15 minutes, and eventually it just took me out just for the very next tick for it to come crashing down. Wouldn't you know it? And that would have been my best trade of the day, and that was, of course, my first trade of the day. So that's the way it goes sometimes, you know. Next, there was news out. There's a bunch of advertisers pulling their ads right now because of the coronavirus. I guess ad revenue. There's no sense advertising if you're not going to be able to have public events and stuff. And so I thought Google, being an ad company, and I was still expecting further downside in the markets. So I did take a respective short near the open here and caught all this move to the downside. So that was my biggest gainer for the day. We are catching a nice little bid on the pop in the markets here. So I went one on that one. And then AAL news came out. They're going to have a big meeting Wednesday in the White House. And this thing was down almost 6% this morning. And I saw the news breaking and stuff. And as you can see, AAL came up. I took it back to the 100 SMA, or back to the VWAP, and I just knocked in my profits for an easy $200. It's still going, it looks like right now. So not pushing my luck on these trades at all. Okay. Now my overnights, I am down on my overnight still. The VIX, it's showing it pretty much flat, so I'm up on my VIX right here probably. With it virtually flat from the close, I should be relatively even on my VIX. And then I also had TLT puts. I have VIX puts, okay? And then I have TLT puts, and they were way underwater. We are breaking out to all time new highs up here. But as we speak right here, I have been watching the price action on the 5 minute charts, and every sell is coming in with high volume on the TLT. So I'm thinking we are going to get a strong responsive bid into the markets the rest of the afternoon. So just keep that in mind. I do think we are getting a topping, at least for this morning, we are showing a potential topping formation for TLT this morning. So keep that in mind going forward, and your bias potentially should be to the upside for the rest of the day. I got to take my mother to the doctor's office, so I made some enough money for 2 weeks. All that Google really paid pretty good this morning, and I think I did another one too. Wait 1 second here. Let me check. Okay, this was actually my biggest trade of the day. Nice little prop. That most profitable trade of the day is TTD, and we know it had very good earnings there Friday. Was it Friday? I think it's Friday. Yeah, Friday. And it came down here. It just missed that 100 SMA. I kept seeing it, and when I had the fourth candle and it just didn't seem to want to come down, I did manage to catch this candle near the lows for that massive up. I only held the trade for a little over 5 minutes, or within a 5 minute time frame on that trade, and a really nice pop on that trade to turn out to be my biggest trade of the day. And basically, I was trading it using my market webs. Uh, I just saw that it was undervalued for the daily VWAP from yesterday, from Friday, and I really thought we were going to get a move to the VWAP. But before I knew it, we went right through that, and we've already went to the value area highs for the day. Now, my reasoning for getting out where I did, I got out right about here, the 780 area, and basically I was using my volume profile from Friday, realizing that if the markets were to roll back over, uh, this trade was likely not going to take further upside, and we were getting a little bit of chop at that point, the 780 area, and that's the reason why I got out of the trade early. But I did, like I said, this was my biggest trade of the day, and I'm very happy with it. 2 weeks income, so you can't go wrong with that. But like I said in my primary videos, if you go out in the time frame here on the Qs, I am still leaning more bearish to markets. But we'll see how things go here. Let me maximize this. Go out on our 20-year daily. And basically, when you see this on your Qs, I went back in time and I couldn't find any situation where you had a 1 monthly candle, a really horrible monthly candle. Let me go out my monthly here and show you. And I went back in time, and I just have never seen a monthly candle ever have a closing price crashing down uh, from an overbought situation. But I could not find any situation where you didn't have continuation that next month to the downside. So we filled all of our uh, Friday gaps. So like I said, I'm still, we might just chop around here sideways, and then a week or two from now, then decide to start breaking back down. It's just something to keep in the back of your mind going forward here. It's a situation that just kind of waiting for the next shoe to drop, so to speak. And right now, we're going into this weekly VPOC. This is actually what generally you would think of as a short point into the market. So bear market rules apply right now. So when you come into resistance, those are generally shortable points until proven otherwise. So something to keep in mind going forward. Obviously, that's this market's it's going to fight its way all the way back up, because we have historical values, which on the way up the first time, we didn't have any type of all this didn't have any type of history behind it. Well, all this move up here has got this entire history, and we got value areas all the way up that it's going to have to fight against, all the runs fighting against it. So just keep that in mind going forward. what's going on here in these markets. Okay. Yeah. Thanks a lot, and I will see you tomorrow. I'm just going to call it a day and close up shop.